Koka Prasade. One small step. One small step. Koka Prasade.
Will you help me kill someone who's in this room with us today? I know it's a bold statement on a pleasant day. Believe me, after you listen to my story, you will all participate in this killing. Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and friends. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived an enormous giant. Every year, on the same day, at the same time, he would walk down from the mountains, stand in front of the castle, and terrorize its inhabitants. "Come, send me your bravest man, and I will fight him," he would shout. And every year, one valiant soul would walk out of the castle and face certain death. But one day, a prince was touring the town. "Why is everybody so sad and frightened here?" he asked his fellow traveler. And the traveler replied, "Don't you know? Every year, the giant from the mountains walks down and challenges our bravest to a duel. It's as though he mesmerizes them, and he hypnotizes them probably. And he chops them to pieces exactly where they stand." "We'll see to that," said the prince. So when the giant arrived that day, the prince was waiting. At first, he was struck by the enormity of the giant. But summoning up his courage, he steps towards the giant. And he realizes that strangely, as he stepped closer to the giant seemed to shrink in size. He stops, and stares. The giant was only 5 feet tall now. He steps a little more closer, stops, and stares. The giant was only 1 foot tall now. The prince draws his sword and plunges it into the heart of the giant and whispers, "Who are you? What is your name?" With his dying breath, the giant replies, "My name is Fear." Yes, ladies and gentlemen, fear. How many times have you been mesmerized by the enormity of the giant called fear in your lives? It happens all the time to me. When I was a child, my life was not a kaleidoscope of vibrant colors. I did not have many friends because I lived in a gray, dark world called agoraphobia, the phobia of open spaces. And every time I stepped out of my house, I felt a giant would chop me to pieces. But I remember one day when my grandfather, he snatched the yo-yo I was playing with and threw it out of the window and shouted, "I dare you to bring it back." Now that sounds easy, maybe for you. But for me, it was like walking through fire. It could even give me a panic attack. My grandfather knew that, but he had his own agenda. He said, "Go ahead, open that door and start off tiny." Summoning up all my courage that day, I took that one small step, and another, and another. And I saw the giant called fear shrink. My grandfather beamed with happiness when I came back jubilant with the yo-yo in my hand. The phobia of the outdoors is now long gone. I left it behind like dead snakeskins. But the message I learned, that every time you step towards your fears, it only shrinks. It's like driving your car in the dark with your headlights revealing only a few hundred feet ahead. You don't need to see the complete stretch of road laid out in front of you. All you have to see is where you will be going next, and be willing to take that one small step. Life happens in small steps. From the happiness of the adolescence to the satisfaction of adulthood, I moved in those small steps. One blissful afternoon, I watched in amazement as my 1-year-old daughter, still learning to walk, set her gaze on a toy across the room and take on a journey of one small step. Crystal clear about what she wanted. She stumbled, she shuffled, she staggered across everything in the room until she got hold of the toy. What followed was jubilation. Well, my daughter did not ask me, "How, Daddy?" Many a time in my life, I got hung up on how, and I wanted to know all the details before I dared to do something. But I realized that knowing exactly how is impossible. All you have to be is crystal clear about what you want in life, what you want to be, and then be willing to take that first small step towards that big goal. Courage is a collection of small steps. With each step we take forward, our determination to succeed grows, and nothing can stand in the way. Sitting there in the audience a few minutes ago, the performance anxiety made me sweat and tremble. And I pictured the giant called fear here on the stage. But as my name was called out, I took that one small step, and another, and another, and another. Here I am now, ready to kill the giant that is mocking at me. Will you, ladies and gentlemen, help me slay the giant that is mocking at me here today?
Yes.
Thank you so much.